Hey everybody, this episode coming up with Big Jay Oakerson is a smash. We talk Philadelphia, we talk a little Frank Rizzo, and we talk some fun liposuction stories.
Big Jay's got some of the best stories in the business. This one is legitimately hilarious from start to finish. Right, I will be on the road this weekend. This Thursday I'm in Washington D.C. at the Warner Theater. Friday I'm at the Carolina Theater, Durham, North Carolina. Saturday I'm at Charleston Music Hall in Charleston, South Carolina. ChristyComedy.com if you want to see Chrissy Antebellum, Chrissy Southern Belle.
Yeah, and the only thing I have in the books is November in Montana at the Performing Arts Center or something, November 22nd or something. Go to my website, YannisPappasComedy.com for tickets, and the special's coming out somewhere. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of History Hyenas. Today we got a special guest, one of the funniest comedians, one of my favorite comedians, one of your favorite comedians who's got a new special out right now on YouTube, part 2. Him, her?
Them, they.
Them, they. I got my pronouns wrong. Yeah, I got the pronouns wrong.
You misgendered my special,
I misgendered my special. The great Jay Oakerson, everybody.
Yes.
What's up, gentlemen?
What's up, everybody? Now, listen, dude, we're going to come in here. We said we're going to talk about your Philadelphia kid. We want to talk about the wild history of the crazy Philadelphia mayors. What is it about the city of Philadelphia that just gets the wildest mayors?
I don't know. I never lived in Philadelphia through voting, so I never paid attention much. I would just see like what they left in their wake. Like, but the mayor itself position never, when I lived there, never meant much to me.
So you didn't come from like a strong political family who was saying we got to vote for this person for this reason.
No. I don't know if my mom's ever voted ever.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing in New York. No, I don't know anyone who's ever voted for the mayor.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they actually get elected. I don't know anyone who votes.
I didn't know anyone who was like aware of local politics or who those politicians were till about like 4 years ago. Now it seems like even 12-year-olds are voting for like city councilmen.
Yeah.
We just hear the names of people. When I first moved to New York, it was Giuliani, and they were like, clean up the city, handled 9/11 great.
Right.
And then it went to, right after that was
Bloomberg.
Yeah. Where everyone was like, this guy's going to suck. And then they were like, he was great.
Yeah.
He should have stayed forever.
Yeah.
And then it was the guy who slept through the snow.
Yeah, that was Wilhelm. His real name is Wilhelm.
Bill de Blasio.
Bill de Blasio.
Yeah.
How great is it that Bill
People
de Blasio,
hate him.
He's a German guy who changed his name to Bill de Blasio to sound Italian.
Really?
He's a real scum. He's like true scum. And his wife, ex-wife now, stole something like $80 million from the city and just was never prosecuted for it. That's what they say.
Really?
That she just stole it. Like this money was never.
Just cash. Just put it in her bra.
Yeah.
80 schmil.
Little something for me.
Yeah. I mean, I remember Mike Bloomberg, like everyone in New York was mad at him because he banned big gulps.
Yeah.
That was a big
cup, because you can't just have big sodas anymore.
Yeah.
You're going to get several small sodas.
That was the worst thing about him.
Yo, being a mayor of Philly is difficult because, I don't know, Philly to me is always, I've always felt like, you know how some cities are block to block? You go to Jacksonville, Florida, you're on like a great block, then you turn a corner and you're like, you see a couple black kids without shirts on speed bikes, and you're like, this is bad. Philly's like person to person.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, you're right there at the like Ben Franklin grave, and then you turn a corner, and then you're like, oh my God, it's not even you're in a bad neighborhood, you're just around bad people.
Just around a bad guy.
Yeah.
It's like dilapidated.
Yeah.
Like the town itself. Like when you go to places down there, if someone gives you an address, once you get off like the highways, you're like,
what the hell?
Did someone burn this down already?
Yeah.
It's like the work's been done. It's it's a very, very strange place. In Philly, it was person to person for sure. But it's also like bad neighbor. You know, usually they said like people would come in and like gentrify an area and then pushes everything out. It went the opposite. It was like black people would move in, and then the Jews started moving to where the Italians were, which pushed the Italians completely out. Yeah. And it just kept going. And then so North Philly and West Philly just kind of converged, which became all a bad neighborhood.
Right.
And then there is no East Philly for some reason.
Yeah, there is no East.
It just doesn't exist?
Yeah.
Just New Jersey.
Yeah.
Wow.
They start calling it Center City.
Yeah.
It's like Center City, North, South, and West.
Right.
Yeah. It's funny because like
South Philly's still like, I guess it's hilariously white to a degree, like the areas of it, but like that's where it gets people to people. It's like the worst kind. For you to have worked and tried and did everything your whole life and like your grandma's house is still like a row home shithole next to a trap house. And when I went to my grandmother in West Philly before she moved with my parents and went to like nursing home ultimately, she just would never move. And so it was just, but they would just like integrate them into the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like the older people that stayed. So it would, I remember going there and just like battle raps happening on the front steps of my grandma's house.
Yeah.
Because the neighbors were just one of those houses, like it was a, half plywood doors and the other one was in a bag. But they were just like, as soon as my grandmother came, I'd be walking up to her house like, shit.
Right.
And then my grandmother would be like, it's like, hey, T-Bone, Tyrell. Hi. Like, hey, Miss Jeanette.
Touré.
She would tell me stories of like, she goes, there was some kids outside and they were throwing rocks at the house. And I got the one, like little girl. He goes, and I brought her inside and I was like, I've been very nice to you and I've done this and I let you use my phone when you were locked out. You're like telling her. And I was like, did she attack you after that? Like, I just couldn't believe she gets there, starts yelling at kids and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, well, they were neighbors. They're a friendly community.
See, I think too, like you and I, when we go to Philly, I think we only ever go to South Philly, right?
Yeah.
Like we would have never been to West Philly or these other parts. Like every time I go to Philadelphia, you hear how bad it is, the drugs, and I think Kensington. But I'm like, every time I go to Philly, it feels like an alternative New York. But I must be going to like just the tourist part of Philly.
Right. Well, if you're down by like Helium's and like the comedy
That's
clubs
where I
and
go,
stuff,
yeah.
it's that's center city. So that's like,
No
busy
crime.
work during the day. I'm sure there's crimes at nighttime. It's desolate.
Yeah.
But
Right.
It's also just like, you said there's still bars down there and everything. So it's more of a jumping area. Yeah, once you get into the residential, shitty Philadelphia,
If you go to
pretty
Temple,
bad.
is that really still bad?
Horrific.
Yeah, so I did my senior thesis paper on magnet schools, and the one that was like right by Temple. You know what magnet schools are?
No.
Where they like try to collect disenfranchised kids, and they all go to the same school.
Okay.
And the neighborhood around Philly is like, it looked like Iraq.
Yeah.
At the time, because as I was in college, it was like, it's so dangerous.
Yeah.
Like
And that's
some
where
livable
Temple
homes.
is.
Yeah.
Temple's right in North Philadelphia. It's in like the skid. Temple. I was driving by Temple once when a hooker jumped in my car. It was when everyone just had a Nokia phone.
Yeah.
And it cost money to use it constantly.
Oh yeah. You have to pay for minutes.
Yeah. And this lady jumped in my car and she was just offering me, to fuck for money. And I was like, get out of my car, please. No. And she goes, let me use your phone to call my mama. And I was like, no, get out. And she goes, come on, well, give me $2 to get out. And I was like, and I gave it to her.
Yeah, you
She
wanted
got
her
out. I'm
out.
like, please get out.
Yeah.
This got robbed politely by a junkie prostitute.
Yeah, that is
Kensington is the beautiful thing about it, because that's just drugs. And they have those, if you go on YouTube, I've killed many an hours. Just, you can put on, they have cameras just up in Kensington. You just watch at night, like the chaos
Right.
of that drug-riddled place. But because it's so drug-riddled, no race lines whatsoever in Kensington. That's what's good. You don't even see a thing. You don't see white people afraid of walking by black people or vice versa in any kind of way.
Right.
Because everyone's just there for drugs.
Nothing brings people together. If you notice, like money, like there's no racism amongst the really rich,
No.
and there's no racism amongst like drug addicts.
No.
Yeah.
I always say there's no racism amongst money, drug addicts, or children. Everyone just gets along there.
Even
Depends
Stevens.
who the
That's
pa-
it.
We
depends-
all need drugs.
Yeah, it depends on who the parents of the children are.
No, I'm telling you, dude, it's hard to corrupt these little kids.
Well, one time I was in a supermarket and I did see a lady with her daughter, and there was a black guy walking by, and she went, "Look, mommy, a nickel." So I was like, that one, she's getting started early.
Yeah.
She's tiger mom in
that
that one in
where you
racism. Huh?
Is that where you live?
No, this was in Brooklyn. Yeah.
really?
Yeah, not up by me. She just went, "Look, mommy, there's a nickel."
Yeah, it's just
Call
what
him
it
a
is.
nickel.
Your kid-
Yeah.
You teach racism in Brooklyn. You're setting your kid up to get killed.
Yeah,
in
he's
school.
really setting it up tough.
You're just
Yeah.
going to see the group you hate on the next train stop. It's stupid. But so for me, Philly, we did an episode 5-6 years ago on this show about Frank Rizzo, the legendary mayor of Philly. Is that Chris Italian?
Could have
I
been
thought it was
Chris Italian walking.
by,
Yeah.
rolling by in a chair.
Hey, guys.
So we did this episode on Frank Rizzo, legendary Philadelphia mayor, crumb bum. I'll take the both of these physically. We watched video after video after video
You remember this one?
of Frank Rizzo.
Nobody loves me like the Negro community. Yeah.
We watched it last time on you. Can we put a little bit of that?
He hit it was like close. It was like Negro.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure when we asked Johnny Brennan of the Jerky Boys, when they would do Frank Rizzo, open yours. I was like, was that bait? And they were like, oh yeah, we got the name.
Were they Philly guys, John?
No, New York
but they were
guys.
just like, the guy was so notoriously like,
Wow, I
Frank
didn't know
Rizzo.
that. It was based on the Frank Rizzo.
just using that term, just the name, like Frank Rizzo, open yours, jerk off.
Our Frank Rizzo episode is like one of our fans' classics, and you're a guy from Philly, so we wanted to talk about some of the wild mayors that we've had and revisit Frank Rizzo. Do you remember? You were a little kid, I guess. You were like
Pretty young for Frank Rizzo.
Yeah,
And I
but
said
the lore was around, right?
Oh yeah. And I said like he had like murals painted of himself, which was great. It might still stand there. It's just crazy. It's old, like they have like that tonic hair. What do you call it? It's like the talc.
Oh yeah,
like hair where it's like they dip a comb in something before they comb it every day.
Yeah.
It's like that's somehow in the mural.
They said that they removed the Frank Rizzo statue in the protests of 2020 in Center City, Philly. They took his statues down.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they said.
they
Yeah,
took
pull
him
up the
down.
video, Jesse.
He was a really tough guy.
Yeah.
He was just a Philly Italian.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My dad grew up in Philly, and there was like a pretty prominent Philly mob. Actually, at that time,
Yeah.
my dad was younger. My dad remembers a story of did you ever hear Chicken Sal Testa?
No.
Blew up his house. Like his house was blown up in Philadelphia. There's like great like Philadelphia mob stories. They were pretty serious until when I was a teenager. The Philadelphia mob was laughable. I think they were violent, but they were young guys,
Right.
and they were like, it was the era of like young mobsters who were like, yeah, we're mobsters.
Yeah.
You're like they wanted the world to know like they weren't hiding in any kind of way.
There was
They're
a
just
Philly-
constantly in trouble and not letting to the Atlantic City casinos and shit.
One of
Joey
those-
Merlino.
One of those Philly guy, I think it was Nicky Scarfo.
Mm-hmm.
He was like bad, like legendary, like absolutely like kill you, dismember your body type real guy.
And then I think Joey Merlino is the kid who stood up to him and kind of took it over.
Right.
And it was just become bunch of young violent guys.
No, just put in Frank Rizzo
It looks
crumb
like
bum.
Stalin.
I know.
It's a statue. It's a statue of a mayor like he's Mao.
Yeah, crumb bum, Jesse, down there, like fourth down. Thank you. Yeah. These are the one. Yeah, this one. This one.
is
Play
great.
this one.
Have you ever seen this?
I love there's a statue of him. The statue of Iverson's this big.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. Does this look like a normal Philly block to you?
This is
Suburbs.
He must be in the main line.
At about 9:30 in the morning,
Here we go.
right here, sitting just down the
So,
street from Mr. Rizzo.
so Frank Rizzo gets a little annoyed with the reporter here.
Yeah. He's had enough.
He's had enough of this guy.
Many of our people go on Mr. Rizzo's property.
Yeah, kick on the
What
guy's
you're looking
property.
at is what cameraman Meyer saw through the lens of the hidden I-10 camera that morning. Not much happened for about 3 hours. And then around noon,
Well,
several
in
police
his
officers
defense, you're
became suspicious
camped
of our
out
vehicle.
outside the guy's property.
Yeah.
You get a little annoyed.
I would get pissed off, too.
Yeah.
Comes out and walks his
Now,
dog.
What was the guy?
unedited
I don't
tape of
think that
exactly
was
what
his
happened when
cabinet
one
at
of our
all, but
IT members opened the truck door.
Art
But
Bud
before
Dwyer.
we do,
That's the
we
guy
want you
who
to know that
shot
when the
himself
door
on
was
live
open-
TV.
Oh, yeah. Remember
They
that?
made
Was that a
nice
Philly
shots of
guy?
that. He was like the Philadelphia treasurer or something. It was something crazy like
Yeah,
that.
have you ever seen that?
No.
That guy blew his
Gnarly.
brains out
It's hard
on
to
live
unsee.
TV.
They really, it's almost never censored, by the way, when you see it. It's
Yeah, you
so
could fully
real.
see it. Yeah.
Oh, I remember that video. Yeah.
He starts telling everybody to get away. He's like, get away.
Yeah, get away, get away.
At first, he tells people they're going to leave. He goes, don't leave. You're going to want to see this. And then he starts telling people to get away so they don't get hurt. And
Yeah.
then blows his brains out on TV. And just starts, it's so real.
Hey, Jess, can you just play? Because I love the part when he.
Yeah, just let it go. It's about
Yeah.
to happen.
handed over this official Philadelphia police press pass in order to clearly identify himself to everybody on the scene. And also remember, as you
There he
watch
is.
this, that Frank Rizzo is not a member of the Philadelphia Police
Looks like
Department, and this is supposed to be an official
This is
police
like Tom Landry.
Yeah, he does.
Here we go.
Here we go. All right. Look at this.
All right. Wait a minute. Let him identify himself. What do you mean it's enough? We want to know who you are. Who are you, sir? Some identification. Identification.
Come on out.
Like Mayor Joey Diaz.
Yeah.
What are you looking
You
at?
ever come out holding your hands up like that, you'll get in trouble.
Yeah.
We want to know who you are and what
So
you're
great.
doing up here.
It's crazy to have a mayor in your
Jowls.
face like
Yeah.
that.
Hey, look, he's still jacked too. He's still a big guy.
With his like
Members
detail.
only.
It's the detail of like cops with him.
Yeah.
A lot easier to stop and tell us you're here. We don't know. He's saying you have a dog in here, right?
A bunch of
Dog.
We could have shot you or something. We don't know.
Frank Rizzo, baby.
Frank Rizzo just
I'll
attacked.
throw it out in the middle of the goddamn street.
Good.
You turn that off. It's on. It's on. Well, it won't be on long.
It's on.
It won't be on long. It's still on.
still on.
Let me tell you something.
What a better time.
Yeah.
I've been around a long time.
I wish our mayors did
I
this.
just can't understand. It's all right. I'll fill another one. Get out of here.
That's it.
You want another pop? I'll give you another pop, eh?
I mean, yeah, the crumb bum. When did he say crumb bum? That was classic.
Yeah, that was another time he was getting followed. You have to. Hey, you pulled it up, Crumb Gum, and this is what came up. Yeah. I mean, it happened on this day. Maybe later in the video.
Maybe later in the video. Yeah.
Yeah. Just scroll. Just scroll with your scroll on the timeline.
Yeah.
Scroll on the timeline. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
It's coming now.
Hit it right there. Yeah. This is where.
Look, creep, get out of here.
How could you justify your actions at our cameras last Monday in front of your house?
You're a creep.
We're a member
You're
of
a
the media.
creep.
The best is
Creep.
it's
Why did you
definitely
attack our cameras?
he knows he's on TV.
Oh, yeah,
he knows they're going to air this.
He doesn't care.
Away from me.
Calling somebody creep.
That's
I love
three's
it.
NBC.
I'm not hiding behind anything, sir. I just
I'll
want to
tell
get
you
some
what
answers.
to do. There's a gang of yous here. There's enough of you here. By myself, I'll take yous physically. Get away from me.
Well, sir, I'm on the public street. I should be authorized to be here.
I'll break it off your head. I'll break it over your head.
Yeah.
Get away from me, you crumb.
You crumb.
Challenge accept. I'll put my dog away and I'll come back. And you got 1, 2, 3. And I'll do it along with you. In that back of that fence. Just the three of us.
It's
four
such
of
great
us, me and
talk
you.
because
Show you what kind
any
of a man
two
you
guys are going to beat the shit out of Frank. He's just an older man. It's like, I get it, but like, there's no way. I'm sure a guy who's holding that 1980 camera could just individually beat the shit out of Frank Rizzo.
Dude,
But I love he still thinks he
still got
can.
the spirit. Yeah.
Still thinks he can. I bet it still looks scary though when he gives you like a base to the chin, like he's gonna give you a pop.
pulling the shade down. Dude,
He's got thick fingers, like for sure.
But honestly, I think if somebody came out politically today and acted that way, the people would love it. They would rally around it. You don't think so?
I mean, there's a faction that would. The problem is like the flack for it would be too much. This guy never saw any of his flack. Like,
It didn't matter. He didn't know what going viral was.
there was no such thing. So he would just say whatever he wanted, and people were like probably afraid of him.
Yeah, I mean, just back then.
I mean, Frank Rizzo, man.
He was
Two-term.
It's funny because Philly had him probably at the same time that we had Ed Koch,
Who everyone thought was gay.
which was gay.
He was,
I mean,
right? Is that a fact? Ed Koch was gay?
Closeted homosexual. I mean, he wasn't closeted in that he was hiding it from himself. Like he was always like he had no wife or anything. He talked like I'm Ed Koch and like
Right.
It was just a
When
gay.
he got the judge show, he started spinning around all the time.
Yeah,
for
he
a
was
couple years.
just so feminine.
This is slimming.
Wasn't he the mayor? I think he really did this. He took people from a mental institution and let them loose in Central Park. Didn't he do that? Or is that an old wives' tale?
Just let him
I
go.
don't know. That
See
could-
if Ed Koch actually did that. See if Ed Koch, Mayor Ed Koch, went to, I think it was Creedmoor or Bellevue Mental Institution, and he took them out and he let them loose in Central Park one
Ed
night.
Cock.
Yeah.
Nice.
Release mental patients.
He put
Perfect.
up Ed Koch.
Fun mistake.
Yeah. Ed Koch releases.
Now, while we look that up, let me ask you: you never had any like dreams of like moving back to Philly and moving to Radnor, big house?
When I first left, you guys are both from New York, so it's like when I first left, I think anybody you leave with like all right, let me just move here, do what I got to do, get where I got to get, so that I can finally come back to Philly. And like I couldn't even imagine
Going
back to Philadelphia.
Never.
You're a New Yorker now. You've been here a long time.
Yeah, 23, 4 years now.
Wow.
So it's like, yeah, at this point I'm a New Yorker, not the teams.
You
but
never really lose the home phone though. It's always there, right?
I'll pick it up quick.
Yeah.
I say water.
Yeah.
But there's not a time that I say it where I don't think like the word water's coming up. Don't say wooder.
Yeah. Like your mind, your brain is saying wooder, but your mouth's saying water. Yeah.
So what's funny about that, what's going back, is my step pop is the smartest person I know. He's just like book smart, speed reader. Funny, also a power lifter, which is very funny.
Whoa.
So,
Amazing.
Like his personality's never been of a smart person, but he just is.
Right.
Very, very smart. And when I talk to him on the phone, they're still like they have the accents hard. Yeah. So to hear someone who I respect that much smart, and he goes, I just need to get a drink of water real quick. And you're like, you dummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't sound.
That's not how you say
He's
it.
talking about like geopolitical Indian accent. He's like, so Jay, when are you coming home?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you going to come home? Come by the house.
The problem is here with Israel and Palestine. Yeah, it's
So
funny
funny.
because the British accent makes you feel smart, even if you're saying the dumbest shit. But the Philly accent makes you sound stupid,
It's
even
dumb
if
as
you're saying
shit.
the smartest shit.
It's
Yeah.
right down, it stretches right down to through Delaware and Maryland.
Yeah.
Right.
Maryland has it too.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. When I watched The Wire, I thought I was like, oh, maybe it's like they're gonna make this character was like Philly transport. They go, no, they have the same accent.
Yeah, it's like
Right.
a mid-Atlantic kind of.
Yeah.
What? Where does it come from? I wonder how it evolved in that because it's
No,
unique.
it's not attractive.
Yeah.
Well, but
It's not attractive.
I
It's
heard
as bad as Boston and ugly.
But I think it's Philadelphia or Boston, which I know is a big. I got to know which one it is, but that whichever one is the closest to what like George Washington sounded like that accent.
That is true.
I forgot which one it is. It's either Boston or Philly's. What they think they sounded like.
Yeah.
Franklin and Lincoln. Not Lincoln.
Could be
Franklin
either
and
one. I know, it's so
Washington.
funny. I'm gonna say it's definitely Boston, but it could be either one.
It could be either one. I genuinely forgot.
And they're two local dumb people's interpretations of that. That's why they sound bad.
Yeah,
that would be really funny to hear that speech coming out of George Washington's mouth, and he just sounds like an Eagles fan.
Yeah. Or Bostonian would be funny
Lewis,
too.
Kurt Metzger wanted to make a show years ago called Young Ben Franklin, where I play young because he's like Ben Franklin's got a crazy history of being
my
a wild
God.
motherfucker. And he was like, just do a young Ben Franklin with exactly the accent and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to dedicate Liberty Bell today. Yeah, knocking down statues.
I mean, they say Benjamin Franklin, like they literally, historians kind of all agree on this, that's why he was able to get France to join the war, because he was having sex with like 4 or 5 of the king's mistresses. And so he knew they had an ear to the king, so he was hooking up with all, because he was a bona fide celebrity in his day. It wasn't like...
Guy partied.
A lot of these guys are famous after the fact. He was famous during his life. And so they were saying that he was able to get, like, whoever the king's top mistress was, he was having sex with her, and he said, get to the king's ear, tell him that he's got to join our war. And that's what he did.
Yeah.
Or a pussy, huh?
Seriously, dude.
It is a funny thing. I just picture him like being like slob, like 4 girls lying asleep in a bed. He's got like an open robe with like the key and the pipe. Hey, you girls sleep up. I gotta figure something out real quick.
Yeah.
I'll come back in when I need a top off.
Yeah. Dude, he would be like, he would write letters and say, like, his autobiographers said, like, how much he loved his wife and kids, but then he just would go 8-9 years without seeing them because he was just banging girls in France.
Yeah,
he just wouldn't see them.
Yeah,
it wasn't even there when his wife died. His wife died, he came home like 6 months later.
Yeah.
He goes, sorry, I'm trying to swim out of all this foreign pussy.
Yeah. He like when he went to, he lived there for
No,
years.
dude, he did not, when he left Philadelphia, he did not, there was one time where he was in England, did not come back to the United States or 13 colonies for like 9 years.
Yeah.
When like the revolution was happening, he wasn't there. He was like, I'm in France, baby.
Yeah, I'll go fuck our way into getting some help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Send your coxman over.
Yeah.
I used to do that with Julian McCullough. Like, hey, see if we can get to the front of this line. There's a pretty girl up there.
Yeah.
Go handsome guy her.
Yeah. Go handsome guyer.
Yeah.
You need a guy like that around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Julian
But Ben
was
Franklin, by all drawings of him, certainly does not look like a good-looking guy.
No.
But it's almost like that. It's like the hedgehog.
Yeah.
It's like Ron Jeremy. He had that confidence, though.
Yeah.
I've met guys like that in several markets around the world. There's Florida. There's always a guy like that, a big fatso who just has young hot chicks around because he keeps them coked up.
Yeah.
Or a big dick. I mean, look, Ron Jeremy just had a dick on him.
And he could count down his cum.
Yeah.
Could you imagine a guy that can? It kills everything because you're like, oh, well, maybe my dick isn't enormous because I'm fat, and then you're like, nah, fat's not going to make a difference.
No.
Ron Jeremy got morbidly obese. That fucking dick always hung 12 true.
Yeah. So it's not your theory.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
really
Maybe you had to
does.
give a little more base pullback
Yeah.
to get that last inch. But I mean, come on.
That's true. Because, you're always thinking back, well, if I just lose 10 pounds, it'll grow an
He
inch.
goes, I bet my dick. Yeah, I know. Bobby keeps telling me that. He goes, dude, my dick's so much bigger now. I lost weight. He goes, is it much?
Yeah.
Right.
Bro.
Much bigger?
Yeah. You're in your mid-50s, your dick's bigger.
How does that?
Turns out there was so much more in there.
Yeah, I mean, that's not even a real thing. I mean, so how does that even work? You lose weight here and it goes into your dick?
Dude,
It's just you can see it better. It's the illusion of it.
the only like cosmetic surgery thing I've ever got like what do you call it, consultation on was I was like, when I started losing weight, I was like, I wonder if I should get liposuction on that right about around my dick area. It will make it look better, certainly when it's soft. And I go, it just seems like a weird place that I don't even know how to attack losing weight there.
Right.
So maybe I'll get this. And I never went back because I went to the guy. First, you got to get so many forms that they're like telling you, like, hey, just if you die during anesthesia, like whatever.
Yeah.
Sign this.
Can't sue us.
Yeah, like just you're probably gonna die during anesthesia. So you just sign this. So that scared me right away. But then the girl takes me to the back room. The doctor comes in. I mean, so cold about everything. Where he's just like, all right, so what you're looking to do here? He goes, let me see. He goes, drop your pants for me real quick. And you're like, first of all, it's awful. Not prepared for that at all.
Yeah, the hot chick's still in the room, right?
No, thank God.
Yeah.
But even with the doctor, you want to chub up a little bit.
Yeah.
I do. I wanted a man to also think it was nice.
Yeah.
So you don't want anyone, because listen, all he's going to do is go out there and tell that nurse, like, whatever it is, he's going to be I mean, I think I already had the humiliation of, like, on the paperwork, like, writing it's like, whatever, it's like, pelvic, whatever, liposuction.
It's called the make my dick look bigger surgery.
Yeah. It might as well. But when the guy goes, drop your pants, and I'm like, okay. So I dropped it, and he goes, come over here in front of the mirror, which is already another nightmare. You're like, ooh. And I'm like, okay, I'm standing there, and it just his thing, like, if this is my dick, he goes, okay. I mean, this close to it, he goes, now here's how it looks now. and he takes his hands around my dick, and he just pushes back, and he goes, and here's how it will look after. And I went, okay.
Feel his breath on your dick.
He's like, it cost this much and everything. I'm like, I'm already in my mind. I'm like, I will never be back here. I can't get through this. It was just the way, it was so gentle. He's like, and it will look like that. I was like,
Thank you, sir.
thank you. Oh, it looks fantastic.
I like that he just took some of the fat and just pushed it in.
Yeah. Now your dick just hung out. Yeah.
I just go right before the balls and above the dick. You just push back. And I go, yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah.
I've done that myself.
Yeah.
Did look a little sweeter, though, no?
It did look sweet, but I didn't get it done.
Hey, everybody, let me tell you something right now. Chubbies has sent us shorts. That's a bathing suit right there. Look how cute they are.
Look how cute that is.
The shorts are great. I got the right inseam, and I wore them this weekend with my family. I like Chubbies. They're comfortable, and they're cute.
Because I like these. They're so comfy, wumpy. And I said specifically to Chubbies, I said, can you send me shorts that look like I'm playing on the Senegalese basketball team?
That's what
These look like I'm playing on the Olympic team from Senegal.
That's what they look like.
But I love them.
Those are the colors right there.
Because black is beautiful.
Yes, and we're a couple of fathers. Father's Day is coming up. It's not about socks. It's not about ties. It's about power moves. It's about you and your mini walking in summer in perfectly matched outfits that say, yes, we're related. Yes, we are a unit. Yes, we both look incredible.
Yes, the Dad and Lad collection from Chubbies isn't just fucking cute. It's performance family wear. These bad boys are engineered to increase grilling skills by 27%, boost dad jokes by 42%, and cause spontaneous chest bumps in public parks. And yes, the swim trunks are aligned because they wanted you to make sure your meat is nice and comfy.
That's really the most important part where I wear shorts is, are my balls breathing? And let me tell you something, my balls felt great, and give this 2 thumbs up on
because this summer you got to box breathe and ball breathe.
That's what you got to do.
Now, when you're getting dressed for your work day, a workout, or a weekend getaway, Chubbies has you covered. For a limited time, Chubbies is giving our viewers 20% off your order with our code Hyenas at chubbiesshorts.com. That's code Hyenas at chubbiesshorts.com. Support our show and tell them we sent you. Don't blend in with the crowd. Stand out with Chubbies.
Good shorts.
Cuz, can I ask you, are you using Hims hair?
I am.
Your hair looks great.
I am using Hims. I am. Why wouldn't I? It's available. It's out there. And if you want to thicken up, why wouldn't you?
Cuz what can happen in 3 to 6 months? You could pick up a new hobby. You could do this. You could do that. Or how about if I told you, you could just get that remarkable, gorgeous hair and start seeing thicker, fuller hair, regrown through Hims. That's not bad for just 3 to 6 months. I mean, this podcast has only been around 6 months.
6 months, that's right. And look, why wouldn't you want thicker hair? And it works. That's the best part. So if you're starting to notice your hair thinning, when you look in the mirror, you're not alone. It happens to all these guys. So just go with Hims and try their hair loss solutions. You can avoid jumping through a bunch of frustrating hoops and get access to treatments without even leaving your home. That's what I love about Hims. The process is so easy.
No insurance needed. One low price covers everything from treatments to ongoing care. Answer a few questions. Medical provider will determine if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your treatment is sent directly to you for free.
Yes, clinically proven ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil that can regrow hair in as little as, like we said, 3 to 6.
Not bad. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/hyenas. That's HIMS.com/hyenas for your personalized hair loss treatment options. hims.com/hyenas. Now, we got to read this last part.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Results vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
Yeah.
Like, when you go
I
back-
know. I remember like one of your old bits I saw on TV. Maybe it was like White Boys in the Hood or something. You had a bit where you were just like something about, I forgot the punchline, but it was like that you kind of have like just a sad looking dick.
Yeah.
It's kind of just sad.
I
yeah.
have one of those.
It was a good
Depressing.
bit. Yeah.
I got one of those dicks. I got one of those dicks that like sticks to my jeans and
Right.
shorts, and like I gotta like let it breathe a little bit. It's like wine. I gotta let it get some oxygen to sort of
Tell you what,
revitalize.
every once in a while when I take like a Viagra or something like that, or a Cialis, just because why not?
Sure.
When I take those, it's not so much like I don't have like boner issues ever, so it's not really that's the thing. It's that for the next 2 or 3 days though, the dangle is sweet.
Yeah.
You get a good
I wish
dangle.
people would know. Yeah. You walk around in your underwear, you're like, what's going on here? Christine, my girlfriend, would be like, I was like, are you hard? I'm like, it's not even. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I think this is what it's always supposed to be.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Wow, so you get a good post boner dangle.
I never realized that.
For a couple days.
Yeah.
You're and I think it's because it's so ready to go.
Yeah.
That like the slightest like graze of like be it underwear or sweatpants or anything, like get it ready to go. So it's always like half.
Does it
ready to go.
hurt? Like, do you get boners for so long that they won't go down, or that's not how it works?
No, I mean, they say that's a terrifying thing that could happen, but I've never had that.
Doesn't
I also
happen
don't take it very often.
Doesn't happen with Blue Chew. Use that promo code Hyenas.
Dude, I was about to say
Blue Chew, it does not happen with Blue Chew.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
Blue Chew's great.
Love
that is
Blue
an
Chew.
underserved, underknown about benefit that they could really.
It's the hang.
Market.
They
They
really
should
should market.
use-
I don't know.
they
Maybe
say-
listen. Maybe it's not a guarantee, so
Yeah.
it's not why they won't market it that way. But that's what I've always.
Well,
found.
like if you're one of those guys, like you're 24 years old. You're like I saw Bad Bunny. He's got a big Calvin Klein ad right there here on Houston Street. It's like take a Viagra, take a Cialis, take a Blue Chew just to get pumped a little bit for the shoot.
Absolutely
Not hard,
should,
just nice and soft, but pumped.
Absolutely.
It's like putting creatine in your dick.
It's the it's the only time that I would comfortably ever pull my dick out soft.
Right.
Before anything, I'm more. I said because even like the times I've taken it before, being like, I think something's happening tonight, and then it doesn't, and then you're like, nah, just enjoy this guy for the next couple of days.
Dude,
though.
like 2 months ago, Jazz, my girl, she literally, it was fine. We've, been together 10 years, and I came out of the shower, whatever, I'm just towel. She's in there brushing her teeth, whatever, and she just is looking at my dick in the mirror. And she goes, "I never noticed your soft penis doesn't go past your balls." She just said that to me, and I was like. Yeah. She was like, "Oh no, like when it's hard, it's good." She's like, "But I just never noticed it doesn't act like your balls are longer." I was like, "Yeah, go fuck yourself."
yeah,
especially when you
thanks.
get older.
I would say that the age starts grabbing your balls.
Yeah, it starts pulling you down.
However, a heavy set of balls also will make your dick look a little bigger.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
What I would do is I would if I got that dangle, that post boner dangle, I would want to make up for all those times that I wanted to take it out impressively.
Yeah.
in
Yes.
those days where it had the dangle.
Right.
So I just try to create situations where I may have to take it out.
They have to take it out,
Yeah.
pull it out.
But you'll still be good the next morning.
Yeah.
When you pop out of the shower a little, he goes, "Hey, do we have? Can you get me a bar of soap?" Yeah. What's going on? He goes, "Nothing." That's how it is soft. Dog.
Come on.
Pre-podcast, I just readjust my pants by taking them off for a second.
Yeah.
Let the flop
Let
hit
the
once.
flop hit it
Yeah,
out.
It's like, I'm good, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, life could have been better if I had more of an impressive dick, I think. It really does have something to do with your psychology.
Well, the scary thing is when you're happy where you're at in life in any way, when you get to like at least a comfort point where you're like, this is good. You're like, wow, I wouldn't want anything to fucking change that trajectory. If I had a dick that could have just been pulled out and garner you getting pussy from that, which, I mean, I've seen happen with Kevin Hart specifically.
Yeah.
He was like, pull it out, and we're like, God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go.
He's got a big
Like,
dick, huh? Kevin Hart's got a big dick?
monster, especially on a 5'3" body. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we would do like shows together and hang out after the shows and like talk to girls or pull girls, and how fast he would be like, "Jay, dare me to pull my dick out." I go, "Okay, Kev, I dare you to pull your dick out." And he'd pull this, and be 3 black women in the room going, "Ooh!" And And they'd be like, Jay, I dare you to pull your dick out. And I was like, you're nuts. Nope.
No. Yeah.
No, it was my job. I was the entertain the two fat friends.
Yeah.
Who looked like, sanitation workers, these two chicks.
Right. They were the same jean shorts you were.
The Matrix just came out on HBO. It was out of the theaters. And it was like, how long ago this was. Matrix 1. And I remember Kevin went in the bathroom with this girl, and you could just hear the work of a 10-inch penis doing what it does.
Sure.
And I got these girls out there who have, two women, their hair in cornrows, but cumulative, between two girls, 10 cornrows, just these big thickies. They look like the Godfather, the old wrestler in WWE. But they were like, and I just remember like Matrix came on, which it's funny because at the time what I used to complain about was like Matrix was made a lot of stupid people feel smart. So I was so sick of everybody doing like this makes you think a lot.
Makes you think.
It makes you think. I'm like, no, it doesn't. It's a good movie though.
Yeah.
And but I remember those two girls came in like they kind of had like what are we gonna do on there? Because they're definitely getting horny hearing their friend get drilled.
Sure.
Loud. And they came. I go Matrix. I go, have you guys seen this? It really makes you think. Like, it's just kind of sit there, we're just watching Matrix loud. While
Did they ever show any interest? Like they wanted to hook up with you or no? Or like,
it would have just the energy in the room.
Yeah,
it would have happened, but I was just like, no, dude, these girls. And by the way, I wasn't above banging two big fat women.
Right.
It wasn't about that. Certainly at the time either. I was like, I'll take what's coming.
What I get. You didn't want them to
it was that like
dick.
I was like after they just saw his come on.
It's bad.
Yeah. Me and Kareem Green had a couple stories of hooking up with chicks together where it was like, come on, man. Don't make me go first.
Yeah. Oh, Kareem Green, great comic, has to have an absolute missile. Right?
I don't even know if his was necessarily that. Like, I don't remember being like that crazy big.
Yeah.
Other than it was just black and better.
Right. Yeah. Well, Will Silvenso's famous for pulling out his dick pic sometimes sitting there at the Comedy Cellar and he'll just pull it out and you're like, that's got to be photoshopped. If that's but he's been pulling that out since 2007.
I used to talk about it on stage all the time.
Yeah.
It was like, I said when a woman described it in the audience, saw it, because we asked them, I go, do you want to see the picture? I'll show it to you if you want to see it. It was a lady and her mom. And they were like, oh my God, it's like a tripod. I was like, do you understand what she's saying? That if you fell forward, your own penis would save you from bashing your nose into the ground.
Yeah. It's just...
I got a funny Kareem Green story. You were there in Montreal. Remember Nate and Kareem Green? We were there. Kareem Green was the black guy.
I thought that was Toure, wasn't that Toure?
Oh, that's Toure.
Toure also,
oh my God,
yeah.
I just confused
Yeah,
black
dude, we better start getting back to the history of Philadelphia mayors.
Yeah, they're too easy.
Never seen Touré's dick. I'm sure it's lovely.
Gotta be huge.
Dude, I
Tall.
really confused two black people. But those are two guys
Touré's
you
a
can
great
easily confuse.
Yeah.
They look similar. But Toure, Philly comic.
Mm-hmm.
Great comic, man.
We were
First mentor, I'd say, really. The guy who kind of pulled me and Kevin and Metzger and kind of showed us, like, at least the black circuit.
He was awesome. He was doing the Comedy Cellar for a while, but then I guess he just stays in Philly now.
I always, you ever wonder what black guys dream about? I found out that night with Toure. Remember the story? So I walked in. I was going to get the keys from Nate's pocket. We were staying in the same apartment in Montreal, and Toure and him came home plastered, and Toure passed out on the bed. And I was going in.
Like in your guy's room.
Yeah, in Nate's room, right? I don't know where Nate was sleeping. So I walked in to get the keys because I was actually going to this girl's hotel room. And I needed the keys to get back in. So I go in there, and Toure, I guess I woke Toure up, and he just shoots up, and he pulls the ironing board closer to the bed, and he puts his hands on there. He's like, yeah, so what are we talking about royalties on this album y'all are going to be giving me? Because we really need to market it the right way. And I went, what? And he went, and he just went.
He was cashing checks and snapping necks, dude. That's all he dreams about.
He was having a dream about having a record company deal, dude.
Yeah, with royalties.
Yeah. I swear to God, that's exactly
So great. Now I want some points in the back end, you see?
Yeah.
He pulled the ironing board. He put his hands up.
Boardroom meeting.
That's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take less up front.
Yeah.
For more points in the back.
True story. I mean, that's what he must have been dreaming about, was just getting a record deal.
I mean, dude.
It's funny because he's in comedy, but, black kids, I think it's just a dream, like, to just get that deal.
Record deal or get drafted in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Or NBA.
Or
That's why black comics keep making albums instead of specials, because they want to get a record deal. They want to say their album drops.
Yeah,
My album
yeah.
just dropped. He goes, but no one's doing that anymore.
Yeah, they're like, really loved your comedy album. Well, yeah, but what about? Have you checked out my music? Checked out my mixtape?
There's a club in the Bronx now. I want to say that or Harlem. I think it's called a Comedy in Harlem or something. That's like doing now. Everyone's doing albums there. I keep seeing the thing. It's like, yo, come catch Sleepy Floyd.
Yeah.
Come do his new album recording. He goes, album?
Yeah.
Just throw up 2 cameras and call it a special.
Yeah.
But it's funny because they love it so much. Like even when guys get successful in something else, they'll put out an album, dude. Kawhi Leonard, the basketball player, the quietest guy, he put out a rap album.
Yeah.
Black guys will just put out an album.
I've said 1,000 words, or I've had 1,000 words back and forth between me and Tiffany Haddish. 990 of them were about her music.
Dude, think about it. We had
That's a good point.
what's the football player we just had on? I'm just blanking.
Oh, Pac-Man Jones.
Pac-Man Jones got an album.
Yeah.
Remember, he was like, really, yeah, I don't want to talk about football and all that, blah, 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 blah. He's like, and then he made us listen to his music.
And he was like, he was more than rap. He was actually singing
was
vocals.
singing, yeah.
Pac-Man Jones, yeah.
Yeah,
and he was like, and I was like, you have CTE? He was like, nah. And then he was like, listen to me sing. It was like most off. Well, actually, no, his music wasn't terrible.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was pretty
I wouldn't say terrible.
CTE.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. But
Do you remember Iverson did that? Kobe
Sure.
Bryant. Kobe Bryant met his wife on the set of his music video. that they were doing.
Shaq, Lillard, they all.
And none of them are great.
No.
They try. Dame Lillard, I said, but you have to respect the ego. Because, like, again, it's something, DeRosa has this to some degree, which I'm always impressed by.
well, he's
DeRosa-
10% Ethiopian.
DeRosa has an album.
Yeah.
Several.
Yeah, he's got several.
Several albums.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I mean, like, Joe, it's not so much about putting out the music. You want to put it out and go out there and act like it's not happening.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's like Joe, like, he's promoting it all and it's like, come check it out. He'll have comics come to the show. And it's so, like, disarming that you don't make fun of it the way we should.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Just for having a passion of music at all. Like, we just don't, because no one knows what to do about it. But I mean, performing like that, so Dame Lillard, when they had him at the All-Star game, I goes, go out there and do your raps. I'm like, there's actual rappers in that audience. They got to be like,
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
he just went out there full confident, like doing it. It's pretty nuts, man.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, that's what at the end of the day, it's just about the confidence to do it. Like when I saw DeRosa when we did the Comedy Jam, and we did it, and he went up and was like a legit rock star up there. So I get your point. Like we were all waiting, or Soder was there. We were waiting to destroy him when he came back to the green, but we just started giving him high fives.
Couldn't help it.
Yeah, because he was like passionate.
I love doing the Comedy Jam because it's a chance to, like, really do it, but just for that 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not like after I get off the Comedy Jam, I'm like, I should start a band. I'm like, nah, it's very fun to do, but like you gotta like check out of it. It's too earnest.
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
It
Well,
is
what we
too
do.
early. You have to be serious. You
It's
can't
too-
smile and sing.
I used to have a thing on stage, like pointing at just about just going like, I can't, like, I know how to like call anybody in my field and go like, hey, is this funny? Like blah blah blah. It goes, but to call someone like Patrick Swayze had to call somebody and be like, hey, is this any good, dude? She's like the wind through my trees. And yet your friends got to go, it's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
We just don't live in a world where I feel like you can come back and goes, hey, is this a good lyric?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny.
Does this show you how deeply I love my lady?
I had a cousin who was like wanted to sing, like she was a singer, and I thought she was good because it's family. She's confident. I was like, and she was like, "Can you please get this to Sway, like Sway in the morning?" Because I knew Sway, and so I said, "All right," because I genuinely thought I was like, "This is good. She's got a good voice." And then I said, "Yo, Sway, I got a cousin." He's like, "Oh man, I'll take a listen." And I texted it to him. And he called me 5 minutes later. He goes, "Don't ever waste my time with that bullshit again." He was like, "She's awful." And I was like, "What?" He was like, "It's awful." And then he knew like everything how we would know like a comedian. Like my mom will tell me like, "Oh, did you see so-and-so? They're so funny." And I'm like, "Mom, that's awful."
Yeah.
He knew it like that with the music. He was like, "She's offbeat. She doesn't know what the hell she's doing. She's stealing half her musical tone from like Beyonce." So he was like, and she's also 38 years old.
That's the tough part.
Not hot.
Yeah.
So he was like, so none of it works.
Also, let's say all that was working.
Yeah.
Also,
Because they could totally take not too talented
Sure.
if they're young and hot. They could fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, it's now. I would say I watched some of the Coachella stuff on YouTube, and like hip hop at this point, it's like no one's like performing live. Like
No.
it's they play the CD version over like the PA system, and then they say like every fifth or sixth, but they're not even like pretending. They're not lip syncing.
Right.
They're like they're just letting it play and like half like dancing and then say like every fifth word or something. It's very. I'm like, man, what a grift almost.
It's almost like when
DJing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like professional wrestling when everyone kind of thought it was real. Like now, I guess singers are just going, "Hey, man, this has always been fake."
Yeah. Like no one, when someone does it, it's like crazy.
Well, now it's more about like Benson Boone stuck out because
I was going to say him
flips off stage.
I was going to say him particularly. I was going to say I just watched this thing from Coachella. I'm like, this guy goes for it and can sing amazingly,
dude. And the backflips. And me and Jazz, we saw him live at the Brooklyn Paramount. Our daughter's a huge fan, and he was doing the backflip. Great live, like truly great. Met my daughter. My daughter. It's funny too. Like my daughter met him, and it's like you realize like that's all she ever wanted because now she doesn't listen to him as much anymore. She's like, oh, I already met him. Who cares?
Right.
And so, but she, when he's doing these backflips, me and Jazz both said, you know, there's going to be one day where that's the last backflip because he's going to blow his knee out. Like, there's no way to get that kind of air because he's doing it in like high heeled.
I hope it's like a half. I hope it's a half twist. Eat shit. Like he's like he just realized he's not making it around the whole time. He goes, hip. If you get the audio of his thing, he goes,
he just
beautiful. Hup. Just know right away. He goes, yep. Came off wrong. Came off wrong.
Or if it's just like a Sigmund and Freud type like tragedy where he just goes back.
What is
his legs backwards? Yeah.
Breaks
He's still trying to sing.
It's like Final Destination. Collapses in half. Oh my Christ.
Because we're a couple of squirrels.
Yeah, and we like to eat acorns. Not acorns from the floor. We like to eat acorns from our smartphones. Acorns Early is a smart money app and debit card for kids that help them learn the value of money. If you got kids, which we got kids, I want to teach them about money right now. I want them to teach them to be little Frisbees.
Acorns is a great way to dip your toes in the market.
Yeah.
With an app that takes your spare change. Let's say you buy a cup of coffee, right?
Yeah.
And your coffee's $5.64.
Yeah.
It rounds up to $6 and takes that change and invests it in the market for you.
Acorns Early lets parents pay allowances automatically. No more rummaging around for cash. Automatically send a weekly allowance to your kid's account with just a few taps.
Wow. So kids can spend what they earn with their very own debit card. They'll love the sense of independence and getting to choose from 35 plus customizable card designs. Very cute.
I love it. Head to acornsearly.com or download the Acorns Early app to help your kids grow their money skills today. Acorns card is issued by Community Federal Savings Bank, member FDIC, pursuant to license by MasterCard International. T&Cs apply. Monthly subscription fee starting for $5 per month unless canceled. Cause I'm telling you, Acorns Early for the kids, gotta do it.
Go over there and get it started.
Cause let me tell you something. You don't gotta spend big bucks anymore to make delicious food at home. Do you know that?
Of course I know that.
Because you know, forever, all you want to do is make tzatziki sauce, but I've broadened your horizons. And do you know I've broadened your horizons? You know what I've been telling you about?
Yeah.
Every plate.
Ooh, every plate is delicious. You get restaurant level deliciousness week after week with recipes like crispy buffalo ranch chicken, cheesy Mexican street corn hash, lots of delicious foods. And look, we don't all have time, especially when you have kids, where you're like, who made dinner? What's making dinner? You're making dinner for the kids and you forget to eat yourself. And then boom, guess who's got you covered?
Right. You're going to spend less on these flavor-packed homemade meals than you would on your normal groceries or at a restaurant. You're cooking the same things over and over and over again. Up your dinner game in 30 minutes or less with Every Plate's clear, easy to follow recipes. Thanks to Every Plate's constantly rotating weekly recipes delivered right to your door, you always have the best answer to what's for dinner.
What are you waiting for? Dig into these flavor-packed meals for households with love. New customers can enjoy this special offer I'm about to tell you of only $1.99 a meal. Wow. Go to everyplate.com/podcast. Use the code Hyenas199 to get started. Applied as discount on first box, limited time only.
Yeah, and Coachella, he did it like
it's crazy.
Onto the floor from the stage.
Yeah. Dude, but he does it. If you look at his Instagram, I mean, he's an insanely talented kid. I mean, he does it on bicycles. He knows how to flip. He does on rollerblades. He does it. So this kid's just confident in the flip. But there will be one last flip.
Yeah.
You do stuff like that, it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
You got to hope maybe he won't stay famous long enough for the flip.
Yeah.
Happen.
Yeah, like he does it at some backyard. He does it at Soul Joel's. When it just fell all the way down.
So that's the problem with like I mean, I saw the Stones recently, and they were so good.
Still?
They were really, really good. And he's still like,
Dude, he's 80,
I know.
over
With a
80.
35-year-old hot girlfriend or 25-year-old hot girlfriend.
I mean, and he just like is all over the stage and has it. It's amazing when someone who's even like 30 plus years younger, when you see them lose it.
Yeah.
I guess somebody was saying like a Sebastian Bach or like Marilyn Manson's actually lost weight and kind of like, I think that Me Too shit, with the fact that it went away, I think he like turned his life around and stuff like, yeah, he's like in shape and healthy and thin and sober.
He got Me Too'd bad? I don't remember.
Well, it was the girl, Evan Rachel Wood, accused him of like a bunch of stuff, and then, but she apparently, I mean, from what they all say now, the girl's like, she kind of rallied up everyone he's ever been with, and said, hey, can you like back me up on this? And they kind of did. So it was coming from all different angles, and then all the other girls said like, now that girl actually just kind of got us all like worked up and stuff. And the real tell, I'd say, who knows? Maybe he's a deplorable, terrible person. But I will say that whatchamacallit, fucking Stone, lost my train of thought from that laugh.
Yeah. What are they doing out there?
Oh no, Rose McGowan.
Oh yeah,
was his ex-girlfriend.
She really
if
went
she
after
said, she not only should not go after him, she came out and goes, I support any women saying something happened to him because I have no experience like that with him. And I'm like, that'd be the one you would put cigarettes out on and shit.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna do it in her time.
So he's back now, looking good.
He does look good, yeah. But like, that shit came down on him really hard.
Yeah.
For a minute, like he had to disappear for a minute.
Kevin Spacey too. Like people don't realize that Kevin Spacey just legally beat all the charges. They were like all these.
Well, a few of them died. A few of the people died.
Yeah, but the ones that actually went to court. I'm just saying, like, if we live by the law, the law said there's nothing here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to. So I watched that documentary. I have to remember like what he did, like the nefarious things he actually did, because his initial like that documentary, that thing, all that stuck with me from that was the guy who was like, yeah, I was like hanging out with him a bunch, and then he tried to kiss me, and I was like, whoa, like I'm not gay, and like I got him kind of away from me, and then I ignored him, didn't talk to him for a while. Then I wrote a script, and I was like, oh, it'd be a great producer for this? The one celebrity I know, So he goes, and I figure, I guess that's what you got to do, is you have to like do something gay with a guy to get far ahead in Hollywood. So he went on a date with him, gave him the script and blew him in the car. And then he's like, his genuine argument, he's going like, hey, the guy doesn't even look at the script. You thought just because you blew him, he was going to like build? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I was like, for that right there, I'm like, that's a railroading right there. Like,
Right.
why are you even on this documentary?
Yeah.
Hey, can you believe you blow a guy who doesn't even look at your script? Did he say he was going to produce it if you blew him? Like, no. I thought that's what Hollywood is.
I just thought that's how it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I met him like right before the Me Too stuff. Me and Jazz actually went down there to hosted something in DC that he was like him and Cal Ripken. And I got to be honest, even Jazz was like, I love this guy. He was so awesome and fun and funny and like was definitely being like gay-ish with me in front of Jasmine. But Jasmine was always like, he wasn't trying to hide anything. He was just being like, yeah, like touching me and whatever. And it was fun because he was just like the talk of the town, the talk of the party. Him and Cal Ripken were making some of the craziest, like those old man like racist jokes in public, like it was just a different time, dude. It was like 2015 before Trump got in, where it was like me and Jazz always think about like how that was like one of the last moments to remember, where it was like everybody was just being themselves.
Yeah, it's not a Me Too when it's two guys involved. It's like, fellas, work it out.
Yeah.
I'm bummed about this when they kept making those Woodstock 99, they had those two documentaries came out. I forget which one it was, but one of them made the moment of DMX doing My N-Words at Woodstock, and everybody's singing along and like going for it. And they're making that now, like they're like, look at everybody just saying the word willy-nilly, not giving a shit. I go, I didn't go to Woodstock, but I'm like, the energy of just I remember the 90s very well. That was like, all of my like high school and shit like that. So I was like, I don't know, I thought it was a much better time, race relations, why? Because no one thought about it.
Right.
I was saying everyone made jokes and whatever and all the stereotypes and everything, but our group of friends was 3 black dudes, 2 Italian kids. No one ever thought about it.
You didn't think about it at all.
No.
Now it's always only thought about, it seems like.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, which is weird. That's weird because it's ironic. They're like, oh, we're going to fix it by thinking about it. But then you're going like, well, everyone's just thinking about it now.
Nonstop.
There's no incentive for the media. Why would they get rid of racism? That's how they get supercharged views and get talking points. If you said, hey, if people came out, if CNN or whatever came out, it was like racism isn't as bad as we thought, their numbers would plummet even more.
Oh, but I mean, the thing is, like, DMX wasn't, every time it was happening when he was putting the microphone on, he wasn't going like, oh.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe they're doing it. He was like so into them doing it.
Yeah,
He didn't give a shit.
it was awesome.
It's
Now,
part of the song.
it's funny when you get people who know what they're going to be upset about, though, because when I went to go see a couple months back, I saw Ghostface and Raekwon at Terminal 5.
Yeah.
And Ghostface just full N-words, the songs.
Yeah.
Raekwon says ninjas every song because the audience is 80% white,
Right.
for a Wu-Tang show at this point. And yeah, so he just knows, like, if instead of getting upset if the audience is singing it back, he just leads them in a different way.
But he's always got one guy yelling the N-word for real.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt there's always one guy going like, it's not how it goes.
I'm about to be inauthentic.
Album quality or nothing.
At some point, I think the black community's got to say, all right, we love the word with the A at it. We use it a lot. We're going to create 2 words. And then they're going to have to start slowly with the whites and start giving certain whites the ability to say the A one and see how it goes.
Legalize it.
Just see how it goes.
See how it
Saying
goes.
the ER
Just
word's
sound like
off
a
limits,
robot.
but it's 2 words. Like
Yeah.
the ER is off the term, but let's see how the A one
It's
goes.
like testing drone deliveries.
Yeah.
Guy goes, let's get him out there. See how he does.
Yeah, it's testing the product.
See how the whites do with it.
Yeah.
Several key cities.
Yeah.
We're just releasing a few out.
We're just gonna
what they do.
we're gonna put it out. You know, we're gonna start. We'll start in Chantilly, Virginia, and see what the whites do with it.
We quoted you, Yannis, on something the other day that was one of my favorite conversations in Montreal about when you got there. We saw each other on like that cross street, right?
remember, yeah.
And we were both just going like, "Yo, the home was here." That particular year too, it was like if you walked out of the hotel, you were almost surrounded by them asking for
In Montreal?
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, they were really
real bad.
went at you.
And I was like, yo, it's actually making me not want to be here, or never want to leave the hotel, how bad it is on these streets. And I was like, yeah, I know, at least in New York, like once a year we set one on fire so they know what's up. They keep them in line. They don't corral you in groups of 10 because he goes, you might have to set one on fire.
Yeah, you set one on fire, the word spreads, and it creates sort of like a moat.
They go,
Yeah.
hey, just so you know, these people you think you're bullying out of money, one of them might set you on fire. No, is that happening? He goes, I heard it happen to a guy.
Yeah. It happened to a guy in St. Catherine.
So
La
this
Rue.
this is
St. Catherine.
the Rue. So this is part 2. You're releasing these the specials. You did part 1. Was that she her?
No. So it was them, they is the thing. So them was part 1, they was the second.
Nice.
So I like that.
Right.
So the first one's them, the second one's they.
Yeah.
And this it's doing real well. It's like 500,000 already.
Doing good. Yeah, in
Yeah.
a week we got to a half. So.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You're the original crowd work guy.
Oh, thank you. I mean,
Isn't
Don
it
Rickles
Jay's
probably.
100%. Here's the thing you got to
He's like the black. He's like the black rock and roll. He's like Chuck Berry,
Right.
And like all these other guys are like Elvis,
Right.
I find it more fun, but what it came from genuinely was like not kind of like popping like on the road. I just couldn't get the road. The road changed like in my career at some point. It was like when I started going with Attell all the time, he was sort of like, yeah, you come with me to these clubs, you have an hour ready to go. It goes, and then you'll start headlining. And then I'd go call these clubs and they go, do you sell any tickets? And you go, no.
No.
No one knows who I am. So they wouldn't. So I was like, I thought it was great. I mean, it was my job essentially was to sell her every night, was going there. And I was going after the best joke writers. You know, I was always after Attell pretty much and stuff. And these guys who were just killing. So I just did that because also like,
You did crowd
you know,
work, yeah.
There's a comic, and we all know who I'm talking about, but never changed their act very much. And I would see the staff.
I think we all know who you're talking about.
We all do.
Yeah.
When the staff would like see them shitting on that or rolling their eyes and mouthing the words of his joke he's closing with again, like I was like, oh no, that's like I just don't want them, because also I know they're very friendly with the same guy. They're kind of like mocking while he's on stage.
Sure.
And I'm like, I don't want him doing that to me, like shit
Yeah.
talking me. So I just tried to do that to like do something different at the end of the night because I was going like 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I remember.
That was also the seller at that point was still being barked in. It was like one show going continuous. So like when I'd be going on at 2:00 in the morning, it wasn't people that were there since midnight that are still like stoked for it. Some of them were there since 9, or some people just came in.
Right.
It was like rotating constantly. So
Yeah, because
25 people there.
Because the Comedy Cellar now has expanded, if you know comedy, like to 4 clubs. There's a bunch of comedians there. But I remember even I first got in there in like the end of 2013, and it was still it was multiple shows, but it was still like you were still the guy, like you closed every show. You were just the guy who was there. The late night one, closed them. And I remember Dan Soder got in a little bit before me, but before Dan Soder, you were like nobody. They weren't just like letting everybody in. It was like you guys were pretty much like the
process
same
you had
lineup
to go through. And you could like not get in on the process too, and it was like over.
Yeah,
Tom McCaffrey, I remember, had a rough audition. Very funny guy. Had a rough audition.
I think I had a rough audition. I just never tried again.
Dave Smith had a rough audition.
Yeah,
when I got him.
Louis Gomez was in for a little bit.
She stopped, but she's a lunatic. I could talk about her for hours. About how awful I think she is, but she. Yeah, and then the comeback around is even like when people accept it, it gets me annoyed. Like Nate, the fact that Nate comes in and does the Cellar, I get it. I get completely why he would do it, but I'm just like, dude, you got in here before this stuff popped, and then after a month or 2, she just stopped working because she was like, nah, I don't get it. It's not my thing, and it's like, so
you don't do the Cellar at all anymore?
Now when no, it's more time than anything else. Like I just don't have really time to do it. I'm on the road every weekend, and then I'm broadcasting 13 hours in 3 days every week.
So you're saying she didn't let him in, and then now that he's huge, she's like letting him in.
Well, she let him in, and then was like stopped work, just took the phase out.
Right.
Like, he's not really catching here.
Yeah.
And then when he comes back in town, she'll be like, oh, Nate. You're like, shut the fuck up, lady.
Yeah.
Front runner.
I know. It's one of those things where like, that from like years and years and years, like at the Comedy Cellar, is it does still have, people say, oh, it's just a room. And I get that. But it is still that thing where it's like, I remember like when you were there and I remember one time vividly, I was up sitting at the table. I was brand new. You weren't closing the show. You were going like, for some reason, I don't know why, like maybe 3rd or 4th. And I was closing the show. I was going on at like 12:55 and you were just like annihilating. And I remember going down there and watching, and you were just doing it so chill, sitting on the stool, just ripping people apart. And I remember telling myself, like, I'm going to bomb. And I went out there and was like, trying to imitate my dad and Puerto Ricans, and it was just bombing. But I remember then saying to myself, oh, maybe I should do the crowd like Jay does, and then try to do that, and that bombed. And it gave me so much respect. I remember that moment. I was like, oh, not like you can't just do crowd. I think sometimes people think that now because of how big crowd work has become. Oh, they just think, oh, anybody could do it. It's like, no, a lot of people try to do it. And a lot of people just suck at it. You're excellent.
I think all funny, like comics that are funny can do it. Because I've had to give that Pep's talk so many times when I do the show where I have everybody do crowd work. Is like, now it's like, you never, it was almost Patrice advice he gave me, kind of like reworded almost, but like, you were funny around your friends. That's why you decided to do comedy. And like, you never overthought that. You just kind of were. So it was like, if you tapped into that kind of level of comfort on stage, like it would come to you like that fast, and you can kind of do it. Same way I just did it so much. The Cellar was such an interesting thing because, especially that stage, if I went on that stage right now, it would feel so foreign to me that I'd probably have a little like almost nerves to it and stuff. Whereas the time you're talking about, I was there. Like I said, I was never on the road except with a tell, and I had like 3-4 clubs in the country that would like headline me here and there. But that was really it. So I was there 7 days a week almost at a point. So that room was so comfortable to me.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was just going to go, if they were like, hey, can you go up in 3 seconds? Like, yes.
Yeah.
What do you need me to do? 2 hours?
Right there.
Yeah.
Because you just know the place so much, like inside and out. So that was super comfortable there.
Yeah.
It was a great place to develop it, I guess, because like, it makes it like not so scary to do. But it could definitely go haywire. That was Denver. I did the specials in, which like bagged phones, everyone's facing forward.
Comedy Works, was it?
Yeah, it's like set up to win.
It's the best. That
this weekend again.
That's where they did Skanks for the Memories too. One of the best albums ever.
Yeah.
Tell Skanks. I think Comedy Works Denver. I think is. I mean, if it's the best or definitely top 3.
It's in the conversation always for best because like just that. I love that American Comedy Company in San Diego. I love.
Good.
Yep.
I know some people don't like it. There's the owner like is divisive with people. I love that too, and that's a funny thing. It's a funny conversation to have almost, is like there's so many people, because Esty, as we say, Esty is a great example. I do the show with Bobby. We do the Bonfire, Bobby Kelly. Bobby Kelly loves Esty because Esty loves Bob. You know what I mean? They've had this history that kind of goes. Right. It's always like been that. And I fully get that. The lady who ran Broad Ripple.
Oh my God, Ruth.
People were like, yo, she's a vicious mean, terrible lady. And I've seen her be vicious and mean to her own staff and stuff. Something about me. She just liked me, so you're like, man, she liked me, so I think she's great. Like, all those weird people like that.
We're all each other's angels and demons.
Yeah,
That's what it is,
Wild.
man.
And Story Wars, great show. I love the
thank you,
concept. Check out Story Wars.
I
Story
said,
well
Warrior.
done it.
Story Warrior. I told Lewis, man, I think like that show. I mean, not that
love
I
it.
know shit, but it just feels like
fun.
that's such a repeatable format. Like, obviously, the best move right now is YouTube, but I could see somebody wanting to give like real money for that to put on like
so,
a
I
network
hope.
if they needed it, because it's such a repeatable format, such a different kind of show. And what I love about it is being a participant on it is like you forced to tell these stories that you never thought about, and then you put them in your act.
Yeah.
like you refine them and put them in your act, so everybody wins.
Which is very cool things I used to
Yeah.
do when I was doing just crowd work and getting lost in that. Before DC Benny used to do like just anybody, no pressure to be funny, just tell a story, and that was great because like, then you have some long form stuff too.
Sure.
So you'll get too pigeonholed.
Yeah, great show. Story.
Thank you, man.
Story Wars.
So go check out his special right now. It's on YouTube. See him on the road. JayOakerson.com.
BigJComedy.com.
BigJComedy.com. BigJComedy.com. Go watch They and Them.
Please.
Don't misgender it like I did.
Yeah.
That was actually a great setup for it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She, her?
Yeah.
How dare you? Oh, my. Giannis.
Enjoy. All right, guys, as always, when you join patreon.com/History Hyenas, where all the fun happens, where all the exclusive bonus content happens, where our community is, you get your name read out on the podcast when you join. And if you make a funny name, you have a chance to win the PPW, the Pseudo Penis of the Week, chosen by Giannis, Jesse, and myself. Okay, so right now, welcome to the Patreon. TT Jerry's coffee can of piss and shit. Nice name, fun.
Yeah, can't disparage the family.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
So walked in.
Nick, Big Mike's Hammer, Timothy Sumner, Logan Van Riper, Kemper Blundell, that FF with both legs behind his head again. Okay. Brett Hickey, Brendan Bateman, Pope Francis from the other side. Middle name Leroy, but I'm white. It goes both ways.
Okay.
Brian Lynch, Brandon Spentico, Fjord Monkey,
Ooh, he's
like a Norwegian kid.
Norwegian kid. I
Right?
like that.
Icelandic
Yeah,
kid.
Yeah, I like that chicken finger.
Tyler Watts, the hottest place that listens to the show probably. Oh, the hottest piece that listens to the show probably.
Send us a pic.
Yes, send us a pic.
Send us a
Ruben,
pic,
Are you
please.
Mongolian?
History Hyenas Instagram. Send us a pic.
Rusty, Pee Wee Furman.
Pee Wee Furman is a chicken finger.
Yeah.
I'm putting him on the list.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Pee Wee Furman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Furman.
The Muzzy Nazi Adolf Allahu Akbar Ghazi.
Put him on the list.
Okay, there we go.
Back to back home
Yeah.
runs.
Okay, here we go. The Portuguese walked into what? Walked into what? Yikes. Okay.
I think that one probably gets the award for the day.
Yeah.
Walked into one award.
A screwed in piece of
That's another
walked
one.
into one.
Yeah.
Plank and Pine, Gluey CK's leaky piece.
Louis C.K.
Can't disparage though.
Yeah,
friend
just-
in arms,
Just
brother
give
in
it an
arms.
honorary.
Honorary,
Drexler,
okay.
Yeah.
Brian Bauer, ladder Horteen with a tiny Frank no beans.
Drexler. Strong Drexler.
Trisha Sims, Kamala Mamala, Kitty, Mr. Sainty Nasty, Benghazi my bussy, Trifon Monteras, Leroy hit me with the city bike. Now we split rent in Astoria.
Take the catapult out for the funny
What it
factor.
is.
Yeah.
Nathan Sealy. I like when they're autobiographical.
Yeah,
It
it's
tells a
just-
story about you.
It's just very funny.
very funny.
Yeah, very funny.
Nathan Sealy, Graham Littlejohn, Pete, Alex Barclay, Saddam's Persian side piece 90210, Kirsten Lansing, Matthew Phelps, Amy Lewis, Jay Blair, WNBA teams cut the $3 bills, Jack Jones, J Bone, Titus Wu, Matty P. When will Akash admit he's just Timu Aziz? Okay. Frisbees to the left of me, Muzzies to the right. Here I am working on my Roman salute. Okay. Yeah.
Walked into one.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
Gary Laporte, Nathan Black, Jamie West, David Allen. Into one.
Walked into what?
Hot Wheels in my ass. Call it the Lincoln Tunnel.
Put him on the list.
That's
Put him
what
on
it
the
is.
list. Get the
You
catapult
call
down.
his ass the Lincoln Tunnel.
Yeah,
It's funny.
Yeah, it's a probable winner right
Yeah.
there.
Jacob Britton.
I mean, that's probably the winner
Yeah.
right there.
Yanni's Dracula Spectacular.
Very good. Yeah, that's We're gonna Drexler that. It's a good one though. Any of the day, unfortunately.
What's up? Name's Fagos. Here's to be the table.
Okay.
Fagos. Fagoas.
The eunuch.
Here to be the
Fagos.
table. Oh,
right?
here to be the table.
Yeah. Remember,
What's up? Name's Fagos.
Bagos.
Here to be the table.
Yeah, that was
Got
Alexander
it.
the Great's
Fagos, and he's for the table.
Yeah, his name was Bagos.
Yeah. Bagos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt
Bagos the
Kelly,
Bagos.
Jimbo, leave it to the Frisbees to steal tunnel monkeys from the crab. Hey, walked into one. Walked into
3-1.
Disparaging, can't do that. D. Wang Wiggerwitz, the white trash Frisbee. Yikes. Walked into another one.
Funny though.
Brad Lightsey. Fumey kid whose anus you can fistula, call me Louis the 14th.
Drexler.
Melania Trump side piece. Humberto, Kayla Massey, Henry Cora, Leroy's washcloth.
Chicken finger.
Chicken finger.
Big time chicken finger.
Jonathan Stewart.
Every Leroy's got one.
Yep. Taylor Tripp. Justin K. Meyer, Matthew Mitchell, Amy Jones, Atticus Micklays, Mary Jane Dershon, Katie K., Trenton Henning. Gerbils in the turd tunnel make the squeaky piece harder than Von Braun's rocket.
Get out the catapult.
He's in there.
Wow,
turd
dude.
tunnel.
Yeah, I mean,
turd tunnel and Lincoln tunnels.
Yeah, I mean, just call this list ice because people are getting catapulted.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Lisa Johnson, we have your reparations. Please come back.
Put her on the list.
Okay, we miss
my
you,
God.
Lisa. We love you.
Another lister. I mean, this is a good list.
Yeah, Gunnar Noble, Kyle, Frank Rizzo's pinky ring. They call me Spider-Man, but I swing with my glue gun. Tim Stoltz.
I swing with my glue gun. Very funny.
No Country for Old Squeaks.
No.
Father Bill, hot glue gun to Frisbee on my head. Please get it off. Okay.
So he used this glue to put the Frisbee on his head, which
what
is
it
an
is.
original Father Bill. And I'm going to direct that one because of how original it is, because he jacked off on his head and then he put a Frisbee on it.
Yeah, it's just tough.
It's
Can't
glued
get up.
there, yeah.
Candy in your pants. Damian D, Ethan Koticha, Jake. Make no mistake, Ladder 14's chili cook-off turned my hole into a burn victim.
Funny, Drexler.
Benjamin Guido Bono. Mega. Tent my house because it's full of fumes. Mm-hmm. Gabe Owners, Anissa, Cutie with the Tootie. Seb Fusei, Anne Frank and Beans, leaky roof and attic repair.
Mm-hmm.
Teeth rotting, so when I do a fart noise, it smells like one.
Put him on the list.
Interesting. I like when it says something about you.
Yeah, it's very funny.
Huge feet, squeak piece. Rebar 09, Emma, Manuel Barrios. Woke up in the Vatican. Now I'm in Leo's glueless eunuch.
Huge piece, squeak piece, gets a chicken finger.
Okay.
What was the one woke up in the Vatican?
Woke up in the Vatican. Now I'm Leo's glueless eunuch.
Okay. Good one.
Good one. Aaron told Father Bill Belichick, slip it in CT easy. Okay.
It's tried for a good one. Drexler.
Chicago is on top. The new pope is an Italian beef monkey.
Mm-hmm.
Dre No Blue. If it ain't right, it's why the glue is always white. Okay. Mitch, the half sauce monkey, half surrender monkey that unfortunately looks muzzy. LaPlante.
Who's a surrender monkey? French, probably.
French, maybe.
Calling them surrender monkeys. If he would have just said, oh, God, that's good.
A surrender monkey is fun.
You're getting a Drexler for that.
Sean Murphy, Damon Miller, Brady Franks, Jonathan Newfield, Sarah Palin was my sexual awakening. Habis, a free jet. Habeas, a free jet. Mm-hmm. Okay. Shooting my glue gun in Morse code. Bruce Shealy. Trump is my PPW. Chrissy D with the glue gun degree. Frisbee fumigation and shower installation.
Okay, that's a walked into one right there. You didn't even see. Yeah, you're
Frisbee fumigation. Yes.
Yeah.
Shit.
Read the whole thing again slow.
Frisbee fumigation and shower installation.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Not good. I get it.
Yeah.
Curves to the left. It's what it is. Jared Lehman. Pauco Garcia. Animaniac Canal. Reading the names of the Chinese gym team is making me hungry.
On the list.
On the list. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's very funny.
Jeff Walsh, Eddie Garcia, Darren Brossard, the Fuhrer of Fumes.
Okay. Close.
Austin Derrick, Colton Place, Michael Carbone, Ryan Cohen, Brendo, Dominic Hagan, Cole Clark.
Here for the content.
Yep. Choctaw and Irish, so I scalp my taters and I'm a bit thirsty. Okay, sorry. Rico Suave, Cameron Williams, Leroy Ceiling Cricket, I don't get it.
Ceiling cricket. Leroy ceiling cricket. Is that a cockroach or something?
Maybe.
Ceiling cricket?
Let my girl stick a finger. Now she can crack me open with her Leroy pseudo penis. Trip birding. Dan Evans, Harley and me. Jake, Kyle Glab. 100 men versus 1 Chrissy D. Yas.
Oh, we're really catching up. This is the whole ape thing from like last week.
Yeah. Good. N.A., Diego Ramirez, Brandon D., Slick, Kelsey Agorsha, Anthony Urias, Gonad the Bulbarian.
Gonad the Bulbarian is a great Drexler.
Do FCFs moan during prostate exams? Turner, Doom Shop, Scouts for the Win, Carmelli, Victoria Ritchie, Nathan Baxter, Zachary Duranda, Kevin Pruden, Jordan Price, Alejandro Galve, Tristan Acevedo, Cam, Wife Lad of 14, I'm a failed third grade dancer, both UCF. Kiolson, Joey H., Lawrence of Alabia.
Funny.
Nice. Still farts on my dick. Okay. Can't disparage the family. Kevin, Owen, Bill, Jack H., Frisbee plus Leroy's equals rap.
It's a good point.
It's a good point.
Equals rap.
It's true.
Yeah, you get a chicken finger. It's very true. You
Eric,
put those two together, you're gonna get music.
You get rap.
Yeah.
Eric Gurney, Matt Hamilton, Haley, Matt Phelps, Hyena Cackle, Jesus Torres, Brooks C. Wright. Okay, one more page. Lassie, Mason, Rob, P. Diddy's lube guy. Okay. ESPN draft.
Walked in one.
Yep. Jason had to name my dog Muhammad because he loves catching frisbees.
Lad of 14.
That I'm sorry, but that's going on the list.
That's going on the list.
I'm sorry, that's
Is
going
that a
on the
contender
list.
to you
That's
too?
a contender. I'm sorry. I know
We
it's a
have
walked
three
in one,
contenders,
but that's barely a walked in one, and it's just so funny.
It's just so funny.
Yeah.
It was always there, and the kid found it.
Yeah.
Frisbee.
Fuck, this is too hard.
Frisbee, but don't want to be. Dad,
It's a chicken finger.
Dad won't talk to me. Walked into one.
Into
Yep,
one.
can't do that.
Yeah.
Matt Simpson. Pint butter motherfucker. I blacked out at UCF and woke up with an 8-ball and pink eye.
Okay.
Please don't heckle my schmeckle. I'll pay the extra shekel. Hashtag frisky frisbee with the teeny peen.
Oh, I just would have been nice as a frisky frisbee with a teeny pin. So I'll Drexel, you just edit it a little bit.
Trevor Santa Cruz, William Soretta, Blind Al, O Icon, Alexander Deskness. FDR stands for fake. Okay.
Lad of 14.
No good. Shit.
The walked into ones are really good.
Yep.
But they're also walked into ones.
Call the piece a Y2K ticket the way Dick Vaney is hanging with the Bush. Okay. General
Dick Vaney hanging with the Bush, great.
Nice.
Chicken finger.
General Heinz Gudenry and Frisbee Finder. Okay.
That's a walked into one.
Yep. Kyle Van Wyck, Markinator, Steven Nunez, Tyler Fear, Andrew Hendrickson, Jacob, Austin Enochs, Michelle, Drew P. Balls.
Drew P. Ball's chicken finger.
Puerto Rican Leroy's. Okay.
Yeah,
walked into one.
Wei Song Xian.
Ladder 14's favorite Frisbee, Michael J. Martin, Gregory Palalo, and Frank's ventilation installer.
Wei Song Xian.
They're so good, though.
Not good. Joshua, Christopher Davis, Stiff Blantano, Bernie's Veins pumping Blue Chew on a private jet with AOC Pyoing. Negronis in Paris.
Funny. Chicken finger.
Jack, Dapper Dude, 3 beers, I'll show you my nuts.
Drexler.
That one girl, Anthony Colasco, Jacob Mole, Yoar Bjorkland, Loose Guns Fumes Make My Glue Gun Go Boom, Sixto Morales, Matilda Searcher, Josh Hollinshead, Joe Greenfield, Julio Jimenez, Owen Gibb, Kyle Claxton, Epstein Island Cleaning Service, The Gluey Decimal System, Mexican Morpheus, Saint 25, Dragos Christian, D Nice, O Nice, and then last but not least, Kanye wants to fuck his cousins, habeas corpus.
Drexler on that last one.
Okay,
we got a toughie here.
We got a tough one.
I love reading these lists. It's so much fun.
Here we go. So, had to name my dog Muhammad because he loves catching frisbees.
Contender,
so that's still there.
Yeah.
Reading the names of the Chinese gym team is making me hungry.
Very funny. We're going to Drexler. Unfortunately, literally any other day.
Unfortunately, this
just
is
the
the big list.
placement. It's just your
Okay.
placement.
Gerbils in the turd tunnel make the squeaky piece harder than Von Braun's rocket.
We're going to Drexler that because the other one is funnier, and I'm leaning towards it, to be honest with you.
Lisa Johnson, we have your reparations. Please come back.
This is so good. It's a little inside.
Yeah.
So I'm going to Drexler it, but shout out Lisa Johnson.
We miss you.
From the First Reich.
Teeth rotting, so when I do a fart noise, it smells like one.
Another one, I'm just going to Drexler it, but you
All right.
deserve to win. I'm just letting you know that you two guys deserve to win.
Leroy hit me with a city bike. Now he's split rent in Astoria.
Again, deserve to win, but you're being Drexler just because the tunnel is just it's too good.
Pee Wee Fuhrman.
Drexler. Pee Wee Herman play.
The Muzzy Nazi Adolf Aluha Akabargatzi.
Very funny. You're getting Drexler. I think we had another one, not Bargnazzi. Nate Bargnazzi.
Now, last but not least, we got Hot Wheels in my ass. Call it the Lincoln Tunnel.
It's
so it's between Hot Wheels in my ass, call it the Lincoln Tunnel, and had to name my dog Muhammad because he loves catching frisbees.
The other one is a slight walked in one, very funny, but this is what the list is about.
Yeah.
That type of creativity, funny and just tight chicken finger. It's just perfect. Listen to what he said there. He said he's got a Hot Wheels in his ass, so call his ass the Lincoln Tunnel. It's just going.
So that's the winner?
That's the winner.
All right. Congratulations. You are the PPW. Hot Wheels in my ass. Call it the Lincoln Tunnel. Go to historyhyenasisback.com to see your name up in lights. This is the show. Tell your friends we're having fun, baby.
We're having fun.